Hello everyone. Today I'll be teaching you hematological diseases oral health considerations. Means whenever a patient with hematological diseases or bleeding or clotting disorder diseases visits the dental clinic, what are the precautions and what are the things to be kept in mind while treating such cases? Dental evaluation. A good thorough medical history regarding the disease, a physical examination regarding the petechiae, purpura, ecchymosis should be taken. Screening clinical lab tests should be thorough. That means the prothrombin time, activated partial thromboplastin time, bleeding time, clotting time, and INR value. Excessive bleeding following surgical procedure, this must be asked from patient while taking the history. The various oral manifestations of these kind of disorders are petechiae and ecchymosis. Both of them come under purpuras. Gingival hyperplasia, spontaneous gingival bleeding, ulceration of oral mucosa, and lymphadenopathy. So let's have a look on them. This is petechiae, the pinpoint spots. Ecchymosis are the larger ones. Gingival hyperplasia, spontaneous gingival bleeding, ulceration of oral mucosa, and lymphadenopathy. Now, the most important test in these disorders is the INR counts. The INR count means the prothrombin of the test value divided by prothrombin of the normal value. The normal prothrombin value is 11 to 12.5 seconds and the INR value is 0.8 to 1.1 normally. But if the value rises above the 1.1 value, this means the patient is suffering from any of the such hematological diseases which is grouped as. So what are the precautions we are going to take? First, I'll narrate this chart. There is a suboptimal range. The suboptimal range means the INR count if it is less than 1.5 or falls between 1.5 to 2. The normal target range means if the INR count is 2 to 2.5, 2.5 to 3 or 3 more than 3 to less than 3.5, and out of range means if the INR count goes of a patient more than 3.5. So what all things should we do and what all we should avoid? The first thing is examination, radiographs, impressions of orthodontics can be taken in a patient till the range 3.5. Simple restorative dentistry and simple scaling can be done till 3.5. Complex restorative procedures, scaling, root planning and endodontics can be done till 3 INR value. The caution has to be taken. You have to take with yourself bleeding and clotting precautions because they are the patients suffering from these kind of disorders will have increased bleeding. Simple extraction, curettage, gingivoplasty, biopsy is safe only till 2.5 INR value. Otherwise, there is a caution to be taken and not to be done if the INR value shoots more than 3.5. Then the patient has to be sent to the general physician for change of the medicine and correction of the INR count. Multiple extractions, removal of the single bony impaction should not be done if the INR count shoots the 3.5, and caution has to be taken by proper measures if the INR count falls between 2 to 3.5. Gingivectomy, apicectomy, minor periodontal flap surgeries are only safe till the INR value 1.5. Full mouth extractions are not to be done in such cases. Such cases should be kept under very small appointments, and the caution is at every step for full mouth extractions and full mouth rehabilitation. Extensive flap surgeries, extraction of multiple bony impactions, multiple implant placements are not being advised in such patients. Caution has to be taken. Ideally, a single tooth implant should be done in such cases. Open fracture reduction, orthognathic surgeries, all are under hospitalization of these patients. So let's have a look on again the clinical features which we encounter in a dental clinic: petechiae ecchymosis, gingival hyperplasia, spontaneous gum bleeding, ulcers and lymphadenopathy. Now, I have taken up the risk categories according to American Medical Association for the patients with bleeding disorders. Low risk patient means patient with no history of bleeding disorders. They have normal laboratory values. Moderately risk means the patient on chronic oral anticoagulant therapy like warfarin, etc. The prothrombin type is 1.5 to 2 times higher than the control range. The control range for prothrombin time is 11 to 12.5 second, and if it is more than 1.5 to 2 times that, means they are moderately risk patients. Usually these patients are taking chronically aspirin for a long time period. High risk patients, patient with known bleeding disorders, they already know they are suffering from hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, like that. Patient without known bleeding disorders who have abnormal result values. Abnormal result values, what we have: bleeding time, clotting time, prothrombin time, and activated partial plastic time. APT normal range is 30 to 40 seconds in a normal patient. Now, department-wise, oral surgery. The surgical procedure carry the highest risk for bleeding, and safety precautions are to be taken. Local hemostat agents and techniques such as pressure application, surgical packs, sutures, surgical stents may be used individually in treating these cases. Periodontal procedures. Periodontal probing, supragingival scaling, and polishing can be done normally without the risk of significant bleeding. For severely inflamed tissues, initial treatment with chlorhexidine mouthwash followed by gauze debridement is recommended. Then you go for subgingival scaling to reduce the tissue inflammation before the deep scaling. So this is the only precaution in the periodontal procedures. Restorative and endodontic procedures. General restorative procedures do not pose any significant risk of bleeding. Care should be taken to avoid the injuring the gingiva while placing the rubber dams, clamps, mattresses, and wedges. Endodontic therapy is preferred over extractions whenever possible. In these patients, we always say to save the tooth instead of extracting the tooth. Prosthodontic procedures, they do not involve any risk. These procedures do not usually involve a considerable risk of bleeding. Trauma should be minimized by careful post-insertion adjustments. Oral tissue should be handled very delicately in these patients during the various clinical stages of prosthesis fabrication to reduce the risk of ecchymosis. Careful adjustments of prosthesis is done to reduce the trauma to soft tissue, and short appointments should always be kept for such patients. Orthodontic procedures. Orthodontic therapy can be carried out without bleeding complications, although the only care should be taken that appliances do not impinge on the soft tissue, and emphasis should be put on excellent atraumatic oral hygiene maintenance by the patient. Now, last is that what all drugs you should kept in mind that you should not give to such patients while treating them in our dental scenario. Now, the risk category that interfere with hemostasis is first of all aspirin. The patient is usually a chronic aspirin taker, and we have to ask a proper history in these patients that how long you are taking, how much dosage you are taking, what is the normal bleeding and clotting time in you, what is the INR ratio in you, what is the prothrombin time in you. You should always kept in a mind last 6-month report of the medical test in a chronic aspirin taker. Anticoagulants. There are many anticoagulants that interfere with the normal bleeding and clotting time. For example, heparin, warfarin, all this you should kept in mind. Antibiotics. Now, what antibiotics we should give? We should give a safer antibiotic that will not interfere with the warfarin or heparin the patient is already being taken, and moreover, we should not give such antibiotic which increases the risk of bleeding in such cases. So the antibiotic, the safer antibiotic is clindamycin and the third generation cephalosporins. Do not opt for amoxicillin, which is our commonest antibiotic we give in a dental pain. Do not opt for that. The reason being is that it interferes with warfarin. The second reason is it potentiates the risk for bleeding. So do not ever opt for the amoxicillin in such patients. Alcohol. Always ask patient the alcohol history, because alcohol has a dual effect. First effect is it decreases the number of platelets, and the second effect is it interferes with the cell production in the bone marrow, means increase the risk of bleeding at that level. So always tell the patient to not have to take alcohol during the dental procedures. anti-cancer drugs. It is very important to note because some patients are having leukemia under this category. So ask the patient what all drugs you are taking. The commonest drug which interfere with bleeding are methotrexate, 5-fluorouracil and cyclophosphamide. So always ask the patient that which drug you are taking, for how long you are taking, and what are your reports. Thank you.